CJ was getting this thing first started. So I've seen the progression of where it was to where it is now. It's a completely different vibe. So the whole crew here has done a fantastic job. I mean, this is a great venue. And it's really cool to see some old faces and also meet some new people as well.
Yeah, so I guess, the scope of the show, I've only been involved in the last 4 or 5 years. But yeah, this is huge. And I think they sold over 10,000 tickets. The hotel is sold out. We have an overflow hotel. CJ and his entire team is amazing. Yeah, I can't say enough about how much they've done. As you can hear the noise in the background, there's a lot of people. So your booth is going to keep bumping for the next couple of days.
The show floor is definitely filling up.
Yeah, for sure. And it's only going to get busier because this is the first official day. Yesterday was for VIP. You guys were on the VIP tour. What did you think of the VIP tour yesterday?
Yeah, no, it was really cool. It was nice to be able to meet you. That was lots of fun. We found some old Greenlight that you showed me.
That's right, yeah.
Kind of a blast from the past whenever I see something from back in the day. But it was neat to hang out with a bunch of different collectors and see a bunch of different sites. And the last stop at Johnny's shop was always a fun time.
Yeah, so I think I found those 2 pieces at the pop show. And then, yeah, there's so many different stores that we went to. What was your favorite piece that you saw that you maybe weren't expecting? Because we had the under the hood club box. There was a club box from 2007. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then the 2-pack. Did you get to work on any of those?
Yeah, I remember the factory 2-packs quite well. That was something that happened. I started back in 2009 with Greenlight. So, a lot of the old stuff that comes up that I haven't seen in a long time, I either have it in my office or I haven't seen it. And so when you brought that on the bus again, I'm like, man, that's just a blast from the past. It was really cool to see. Under the hood stuff was definitely, higher detail and a nice cool box and everything. So, hopefully we can bring that back in a way.
So how long did the club last for? It was like, it started in...
Yeah, we have someone back in our office, Katie, she used to run the club. It was going for a solid 5-6 years strong. And then the day-to-day business got so busy where it was just kind of difficult to keep that going at the same time. So,
and the business, Greenlight is huge. It's like worldwide, there's TV shows all over the world.
Yep.
I wasn't really a collector at the first time, but now I'm looking for all the older stuff. The older stuff is so cool that you don't see. I mean, you can find Greenlight in a lot of stores, but you can't see that older stuff. Is there any plans for a club? Or something that is exclusive for certain collectors? Or, I know there's always, convention pieces and things like that, but you don't have to tell me everything, but is there some ideas being thrown around there?
I think our cover's blown. Yeah, there is. There's definitely some stuff in the works for a collector club getting that back online. We've heard our collectors and they want more of that type of stuff, so the more we can offer, I think the better it'll be.
Okay. And it's gonna be something online, obviously. And there's also challenges with that because there's a couple of other brands that people are always upset that they didn't get it or there's a glitch in the system. So I think maybe that would be a good learning for you guys to see, okay, these are the issues that other companies are having. We gotta make sure we don't do that.
Luckily, we're so early like that, we can do the research that needs to be done and figure out, okay, what's the best path forward for this.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I like the backbone of the system is being worked on right now. So we just haven't done the front end development quite yet.
Okay. So do you have any details about, say, how many subscribers to this club or no?
Well, I think we're going to try to make it easier for the collector to obtain pieces. That's one portion that we saw wasn't really working in the past. So, if we can generate the interest and allow the collector to hop online and purchase something themselves as opposed to us trying to force feed it to them, I think that's going to be a lot better and a lot
usually more user-friendly. So, but I think we need to keep it limited where we don't let the market dictate how many we make. We make a set number and it's get it now or lose out. And that kind of will help the collectability grow a little bit more. And with the added detail that we're going to be putting in these pieces, you're definitely going to be able to tell it's a difference between our, mass retail product and then what's in our collectible.
Well, I'm hoping that you guys do some sort of collector club card or something like that. Either say your name or a number or something on it. Just set you apart from other clubs. I think that would be really exciting.
Did you bring a notebook?
We'll have to go back and watch this.
Exactly. What is this?
And then there's going to be, I don't know if they're going to be numbered cards or not, but it's still going to be cool because it's going to be seriously. And I think it'll make collectors feel like something that they can cherish. And maybe not everybody's going to have something.
I don't want something everyone else can have.
Yeah, of course. That's right. Rail pieces and things like that. And I'm sure you guys have your own rail pieces. I was just talking to somebody about this one piece, and apparently I'm going to get it at the end of the show, so I'm really excited. It's something I've been looking for a long time. So.
That's it's always satisfying when you can check off a white whale.
Yeah, and that's
for a while. It's
that's what these shows are all about.
Yeah.
So, is there a rollout date, like a tentative rollout date?
I mean, we're hoping by Q4 this year. But it may leak into 2025. It's just, we don't want to be too quick and hasty with it.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that when it comes to market, that it's a polished product.
Awesome. Well, that's really exciting. Honestly, that was not even a hunch. It was just a guess. Like, maybe I'll bring up the topic and they'll be like, yeah, we'll think about it. Yeah. Well, if you guys can promise me this, I don't know if you have a pull in that direction, but just give us a couple more questions, right? For the first year.
I don't think we can leave them out.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah.
All our stuff, it's all good representation.
Yeah, no, I
We got you covered.
appreciate it.
Yeah, and Cale has a really good relationship with our license. So
Yeah, we were talking about him earlier and how it's funny how when you get into this industry, and I'm not, like I am in it professionally as well, but it's mostly a personal thing on the collector side. And then there's all the brands that I get involved with, and then the people that come in brands and other collectors. And Jim and I actually met because of markers. Nothing to do with licensing. It's so funny because he's like, how have we not met before? Like, we're so into Monkbar and we go to all these different shows. So it's really cool when you people in common as well.
did you get to see his Viper?
No, I didn't, but then when I saw it being scanned, I was so jealous. I was like, oh my god. So,
That was a fun day. Scanning Jim's Viper in his garage.
That is so cool. I got a couple of SRTs if you guys ever need any examples.
Oh, sounds
And I know that there's no SRT for neon casting. So I'm just going to throw that out.
Yeah, well, I think there's going to be an added focus on Supercon just with, the last Challenger and everything.
Yeah.
I think that's
All
going
the
to
last
be
ones.
I mean, I think it's going to be a pretty big focus in the industry. And actually, I mean, we got a
Little sneak peek.
Yeah, a little sneak peek. Yeah.
Hasn't really been seen anywhere yet.
Like prototypes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at that.
That's just one of many of the challenges that we're tooling up right now.
I'm just going to say, let me bring this up to the camera. One of many challengers, so is there a Demon 170 in the works, maybe? Possibly?
I would think there's a good possibility.
Yeah.
We're checking a lot of the boxes.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put this in my pocket.
You go ahead and hold on to it.
Hey, so can you just hold it till the end of the show?
Yeah.
We'll just leave it right there. Oh, that's beautiful.
We can
That's awesome.
get a couple over to you so you can review them as well.
Oh, that'd be
When
awesome.
they're,
I would love that.
when they're
Yeah.
on the market.
Yeah, so over the next few months, look for some pretty cool announcements on what we're doing with Challenge.
So where do we look for that? Instagram, Facebook, that's your
Yeah,
name?
all our social media feeds will have that.
Okay.
And we've been working really closely with Stellantis on these vehicles.
you know, making sure we get the colors right, get the wheels right. That's part of my job is just, you know, day-to-day working, you know, with the auto manufacturers. They're sick of me bothering them for more information. I can tell you that.
So I actually know Mark Trossel very closely. I get some interviews with him as well. And just being in the local world, and he is always at still at the Super Show and talking to all of them there, and then you know, all of the spare drivers that are referring to you guys as well. Tony Stewart and Leo and Matt. So.
Yeah, you know, kind of on top of where people can find information, like we've got a really solid marketing team now, and they do a great job of presenting more and more things online for collectors. That was one area that we were lacking in the past, and now it's like if you follow us, you know, Facebook, Twitter/X, Instagram. I mean, our followers have grown so much because our content has gotten better. So, you know, anytime anybody wants any type of an update, go and follow us on those platforms. You'll be able to get all the info you need.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and then we're going to have to turn notifications on because we want to see all the new drops.
Yeah. This will be one of them. So.
Yeah, no, that's exciting. I'm really interested to see what live reads or decals are going to do on this because I don't know, I got some ideas, but I'm not sure.
Well, if there's any ideas, hit us up on social media.
Oh, okay.
You know, one thing that I think is pretty cool is our collectors never shy away from letting us know, hey, have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about doing this? Because we're a small group of people, and our days get filled pretty quickly with things that we don't anticipate. So if people want to send in suggestions, we definitely will listen.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah,
because you know, you can't catch everything or see everything.
No, and you guys are so close to it. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas we're far behind, we're far out, and we're kind of looking, so we're just like, oh, hey, how can I?
Well, the cool thing too is like, especially people that are attending car shows, like that are, I mean, we're based in Indianapolis, so you know, if there's car shows in California or Florida or wherever, and we're not out there, people are taking pictures and saying, hey, this is really cool scheme, can you do this? And 9 out of 10 times when we contact the owner of the vehicle, and if it's so custom that you need their permission, they're like, yeah, absolutely. If you could make my car, that'd be great. You know, that really helps us out because we would have otherwise have never seen that scheme. And it may be something really cool that Dodge helps commission, or maybe it was just there's such a big enthusiast they did it all on their own. Either way, I think it's cool content for us.
So you guys made one of my cars prior to this in 2014, so you guys did that. It wasn't a 14, it was like a 12 or something like that, same body style. But you got the engine wrong, and it drives me nuts. It's supposed to have a 6.4 liter.
It's probably a lack of tooling.
And it was a 5.9. It's still a V8, but still. So yeah, I wanted to get a custom one. And then there's like the side skirts missing, so.
Just keep the lid shut.
Also on this tool, I think you'll be impressed with how robust it is. We have a couple of different engine options, so I think you know a lot of different. And it's got a working suspension too. So a lot of different options and everything. Our lead designer. Go over to the Greenlight booth and say hi to Clint. Really solid guy. I've been working with him for over 10 years. And he drives the Challenger. And so, like, you know, it's his baby. And he wants to make sure that everything is right. And because if it's not, he'll tell you. Anytime I make a product suggestion on a boat bar, he's like, can't do it because we don't have this. Or, okay, yeah, we can, but I'm going to change this. And it's like, okay, we need somebody like that on the team, which is fantastic. So, but yeah, go say hi to him. He gets embarrassed quickly. He was on the tour last night.
Oh, yeah, he's quiet, right? Quiet.
Very quiet, very observant, but his whole family drives boat bars. So
okay, that's awesome.
He's very, very passionate.
So what do you think of that General Lee size? And then that other church there's a couple of good versions for
that Shelby, that was like just the frame was, I mean, 1 of 9 in that color option. That was pretty dope. I can't believe he had that. And everything else that he had, like, I don't don't know if you saw the Volkswagen bus all the way in the back.
Oh no, I don't think I went that
That
far
was
back.
like in his like junkyard area. But yeah, this guy had many toys, and you know, I think yeah, the general release super cool. But when he fired up that Camaro too,
Oh my
that was,
gosh, yeah.
you could feel your inside shake.
Oh, for sure. This was at Whiskey's
Auto Distillery.
Distillery, and that's in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were there yesterday. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. So when you guys go to a car show or anything like that, is your mind just looking for like little details and little ideas that you can take across to your team?
Yeah,
Or...
always. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, if it's a car show, just flipping through, you know, social media. Just always looking for ideas. Or just like even walking the parking lot and say, going to Target, you know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Especially, I live in Detroit, you know, just north of Detroit.
Oh
so,
yeah, that's where they...
yeah, so you see everything all year round. You know, you see prototypes on the road, like.
Yeah, they're all
you see
covered up with the
exactly,
wrap,
all the
you know
camo and
what it
everything,
is.
but
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what's underneath it.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You know, it kind of sparks your mind because you see, and you're like, oh, okay. And that's when you go to the manufacturers, like, hey, I saw her out testing XYZ. When can we get the cab? When can we add it to our contract? We want to do the car.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the primary function of us being at SEMA as well. So, you know, we have our booth there, but if you come by our booth, you may not see him or I there because we're walking the show floor, like meeting with current licensing partners, looking for new opportunities. And then, you know, each SEMA things change. Like, it's like Jeep heavy, and then the next year it's Bronco heavy, and then the next year it's Mopar heavy. And it's like, so you get a diverse mix every year that you go, and you see something new. You know, if someone would have told me vintage Broncos were going to blow up the way that they did, I'd be like, no, you're crazy. But then you go to SEMA one year and it's like 60s and 70s era Broncos everywhere. And you're like, well, I guess that's what we have to do up because it's all over the place. So you kind of get your finger on the pulse of the industry when you go to that. There's a lot more smarter people that go there than us. So we might as well just listen to them and take the lead.
Well, you know, I was pretty upset that Stellantis dropped out last year, and he said they're not going to be doing auto shows anymore. So that kind of sucks. Because I'm always looking forward to that. But like you said, there's a lot of big brands that changed at the SEMA show also. But then there's also the vendors, you know, like all of the different aftermarket parts companies and all of that. Those are also brands that you guys need to,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, thousands of them. They're all great partners.
What are like the top 5 licensing
For-
that you guys
For us, like Gulf Oil is huge. Like everybody loves
Everybody
Gulf.
loves that, yeah.
All the gas and oil brands do really, really well for us. Another one is, Holly Performance, because within Holly Performance, they have dozens of sub-brands under there. So, and within our contract, we have access to all of those. So, it's really great. EV racing field is pretty well for us.
Falcon tires, A&N filters.
Yeah.
It's satisfying when you finally like crack the shell of a license that you've been talking to for a long time. Like I remember him and I talked to K&N for filters for like 3 years in a row at SEMA, and it's always, we'll get to it. And finally, we walked up and we're like, look, man, we really want this. So like, if you can just, if it's not you pointing us in the right direction, and like literally the next week after we got back, we had the paperwork going. So, it's kind of satisfying when you work so hard on something like that and you see it out in the market, and it's like, all right, well, my fingerprints are on that a little bit, like it's just it's kind of a satisfying feeling.
Yeah, and one that we haven't even told anyone about yet.
Whoa, exclusive.
Yeah, because actually, I just signed a contract on Monday before I flew out here.
Okay.
So, Greenlight just signed NHRA.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, we've been working on that. They approached us about 2 years ago. We just weren't ready. Pick up the conversations back on Suoercon. That's, it takes usually about 6 months to get a contract done. I was excited to have, the final one come through for me to sign off the Monday, so I say something about it here.
Oh, okay. So what does that entail then? Because NHRA is such a big.
Yeah, so what that entails is, we have access to the vast majority of all of the races, the locals from races,
Okay.
current, vintage, everything.
Like the speedways and
Yeah, all the tracks,
Yep,
and,
yep.
you know, like Gator National, International,
Yep.
Summer Nationals, all that.
Okay.
We're also, you know, we have access to the safety safari, so all their safety trucks, you know, going back to the 50s.
Okay. Okay.
You know, also, you know, some of their vintage race cars, you know, we're doing. Can't really do any of the current stuff because of all their contracts,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
you know, old super stock cars and stuff like that. So,
And the skills that you can do with that.
Well, that's one of the reasons we wanted it, because there's
Yeah.
not a lot in 164, you know, from the vintage stuff. So if we can bring that to life in that scale, I think we'll have a winner.
yeah, so we're really excited, and, you know, we're, you know, over the next month or so, we're moving on to development, so stay tuned to our social media and get to
That's
see
gonna be
stuff.
super exciting because that's a whole different market in HRA racing stuff. So yeah, that's exciting. Is it only for 164 then?
No,
Do
we
you
have,
other skills?
you know, obviously, like I said, our plans are just starting.
I was
but-
gonna say yeah, it's a little early.
Yeah, it's a little early, but, you know, we have 164th, 43rd, 24th, and 18th in the contract.
Okay, nice. Okay. Yeah, I always love to see the details and how they change your skill.
And this is just kind of building on, you know, we kind of thought we need to build out our motorsports a little more because, you know, being the exclusive, you know, replica manufacturer for Indianapolis, it's like we already had, you know, we had it located in Indianapolis. Okay, we have some motorsports heritage. So, like earlier, back in early 23, we also signed Hendrick Motorsports to do some stuff in their first project. For them, we'll be hitting here in the next couple of months.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen the Hendrick stuff that we're making, it was hilarious. Cale and I were in Vegas at the Shell Oil Conference, and he's like, "Hey, let's go down, you know, the lobby, whatever." And I'm like, "Hang on, I got to do a couple more emails." All of a sudden, we just start brainstorming, and things start flowing, and you know, the Hendrick team has rights to all their drivers' paint schemes. So like, we're talking Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson, all those guys, and so we said, well, okay, we can't do modern NASCAR because Lionel has that locked up, and Lionel are great people, like super cool. We actually partnered with them on a project earlier this year, or late last year. But we said, well, why don't we take the first win paint schemes of all their drivers and just transfer them on to 69 Camaros because they're all Chevys. And so we did that, and there's photos up on our social media. They're really cool, and they're getting ready to hit the market. There's 6 of them.
Yeah, there's 6 of
them. They're getting ready to hit the market in the next month or two. But like the response on those has been super cool. So for me, I'm thinking natural progression is we have that 118 in our GMP line. So let's make it in another scale. If this scale does well, judging by the pre-sale numbers, they're doing pretty well. So
that's awesome.
it's just dragging a new collector group into our product, right? Because the more people you have eyes on your product, Hendrick has helped us tremendously. Yeah, good folks. And it always helps when one of their drivers is driving in this year's 500.
Yeah.
So Kyle Larson's going to do the duel, which is pretty cool. So that was the project we partnered with Lionel on. Was we used our Indy car and their NASCAR as a 2-pack.
Oh, nice.
Being sold. So
a 2-pack.
yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We did it 64th, and then we did it with them their 124th and our 118th. So.
And is that going to be available in the stores, or is it just
No,
going to be
it
exclusive
was
to the
all
website?
pre-order. It was a
Okay.
pre-order thing, and then you can get them at either Indianapolis Motor Speedway or
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good because then it's kind
Memorial
of
Day weekend.
exclusive.
Yeah.
So, okay, nice. And you know, I was looking at your site a couple weeks ago, like a week ago, and I noticed that there's like a custom tab that you can customize a car for a show or an employee giveaway or just some sort of marketing for your company. And I thought that was really cool. I was like, wow, you guys actually do that. But what is the threshold for how many pieces you make? If somebody's actually thinking about doing a local diecast show or something like that.
Yeah. Well, it always boils down to timeline. You know, that's our biggest thing is because we don't want to say that we can deliver something.
Yeah.
But you know, we can go as low as 1,000 pieces if that's what's needed. So it goes 164. Yeah, probably around 6 months. Yeah, is my guess. That's generally where it's been.
And that's from start to finish?
That's, you know, with regards to making sure that we have good artwork and then the customers involved in every stage. So we're going to decorate it sample. In fact, we did the Raging Bull exclusive for the show. Yeah, it's on a Fox Body Mustang.
Yep.
So kind of the same thing where, you know, either the customer can supply the artwork or we have our own designers on staff, 2 of them are here, and they can come up with a design for you, customized packaging as well. So nothing goes forward without the customer.
Well, now I'm kind of thinking, those are great. I want to get a customer.
You need an exclusive for your show.
I think so. Yes, we're teaching them. And you know what? That's what I was looking at. Well, I drive a Charger, so yeah, you're right. That's pretty good Charger. That's pretty cool.
There's a cool charger at that auto display.
Yeah, there was. It was the one outside. I was looking at that one. It was like everyone's walking around the general league.
No, yeah, Clinton and I were looking at the charger out there.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm in Canada, as you guys know, and we get a lot of horrible weather. So all the nice cars are always in the garage or in storage, and we only have a couple months to drive them. So I really want to get a vintage one to match all of the newer stuff that I have. So that's my dream. I'd like to get an old Supercon to match. So that would be, because and it's white, my Supercon that I have is white. It's modern, so I'd like to get a new one. What do you all drive? What are your daily drivers or your, you know,
I'm boring. I'm boring. I have 2 kids, so I drive an SUV. So, but my son turns 15 this year.
Yeah.
So he's you know, going to be learning how to drive. So I said, well, you can purchase my SUV off me.
Oh,
so now my wife is listening. I'd like a Camaro. To me, I mean, you know, yeah, like a 21, you know, 2021, something like that, you know, because they're not making new Camaros anymore either. So, yeah, yeah, I mean, my dream is to be on, you know, 69. I think those are just iconic, but I like the new ones too. So if I can find a good deal on one, I'll pull the trigger. Yeah, he just sold his Camaro, so he's got something more exciting coming soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just took delivery a couple weeks ago of a C8.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been fun. But then I also have a 99 Trans Am Firehawk.
Oh.
That I owned since new. It was kind of a graduation present to myself a couple years after I graduated college. Yeah.
So what's the horsepower between the C8 and the
I mean, so the Firehawk has a little bit of engine work, heads cannon, long tube headers, and that only makes 400 to the wheel. So, you know, the C8's, you know, 495 in the factory. So
it should be to church on time.
What's that?
So it should be to church on time.
Exactly.
It's a little bit more than my GMC Terrain.
You know, living in Michigan, you know, it's like, C8 is your daily driver. I work out of home, so I never leave home.
Yeah.
And then, you know, my wife's got an SUV, so if there's snow, you go somewhere, I'll take her.
I know, everybody has muscle cars these days. Yeah, I think I've got 5 right now. So it's funny, people are like, how many kilometers are you super being? I'm like, 40-something kilometers, because we switch cars so often because of the weather or whatever. You turn
Never
one
have too many
and
cars.
yeah, that's what they say in Greenlight Collectibles. And there's always something wrong with every single one of them. That's why I drive a different car all the time.
Just keep rotating through it, being fixed or, you know, modified.
I have like 3 of them same one, and they all drive 3 SR2 ones. One's an American Club Racer, so it's like a special edition. Yeah, a custom transmission. But there's just, you know, with power it comes issues, right?
Are any people modified? Have you done anything on?
Well, kind of. I mean, they aren't all staged, but from factory. And the ACR, we just put a Darrell Cox Racing transmission into it. So I when they say they didn't know what that was, but now we've got to upgrade everything else, so it's like a slow process, and then trying to keep it.
Those are
Still
fun,
kind of
funny
factory
cars.
yeah, and then we have 50 of those, so it's a blast.
Nice.
So much power for such a tiny little room. And they call those the mini Vipers too.
What was it?
So they call them the mini Vipers because at the time it was the fastest in the Dodge lineup aside from the it kind of looks like a special, right? Should talk to Jim about that. Tell him that
Exactly.
So what about favorite castings? Can you even say one of us?
Like mine always just draw back to like the projects that I've worked on,
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
the models that I've helped bring into existence. Like I know it's nothing special, but like the Ford GT, like the new GT, when they redesigned that, like I worked closely with Ford and Cale and I, you know, we came to terms on the deal and we brought it to market. And but that one's always just kind of the first one that comes to my brain because
That's a wicked
it was, yeah, and I mean, you know, like there's so many detailed little parts on it and everything, and until they sign off on it, you can't do anything. So you know, you got to make sure that the OEM is happy. So that one was that one will hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah, you know, for me, like it's kind of hard to have a favorite casting. You know, you handle all the licensing. You know, you kind of touch all the cars. You know, you get a new car, you know, into the contract. Sweet, now we're going to have, you know, X, Y, Z. So it's kind of like they're all your babies.
Yeah. But do you like have a different one on your desk every week, or is there just like one that's your favorite? That's there.
So I think the one I have on my desk is kind of real. We have an ongoing program we have tools where every 6 months we do a new 64 scale. You know, they sell on their trucks, and I have the very first Mustang on my desk. Really, it just started out like, hey, we just want to try this with you guys, and that was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and now it's grown to be a pretty nice project, you know, for the company. So.
And that was your doing. You kind of got it.
Yeah.
Cale's got all the connections.
Yeah, no, that's really exciting. Greenlight has come a long way too. It grew so much. There's been a lot of changes. There's been some big company changes as well. Anything exciting for you to talk about kind of announcements?
Yeah.
Like it's taking a shift obviously too, because now we're seeing there's more on social media and there's more marketing and it's more in your face. And then the customers are able to learn more about the product. Because before, I guess, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but we'd see it in the store and then that's how kind of we learn about it. And I never really was seeing it on socials and that. So.
Yeah. No, you're 100% correct. I mean, it's changed quite a bit. We actually just went through an ownership change about a year ago, which is why you're starting to see these changes as well. So, you know, it's great because it's a family business that bought us, and they were already involved in models, like in replicas. So they have their own factory, and so they understand what needs to occur. So that's been quite beneficial. And you know, when we've got an ownership team that cares and that wants to see things made like this, that only can help bolster the program, and that's what we're kind of doing now. So it's kind of been a slow ramp-up period for us, but it's because we're all becoming familiar with one another and what our strengths and weaknesses are per person. And don't tell you I don't have the strengths, but it's all right. I think everyone knows that.
I can make you guys arm wrestle.
But I think in the future here, don't be surprised if you see a brand new casting coming out from us every 1 to 2 months.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's an aggressive goal, but at the same point in time, I think that we can achieve it.
One thing that's also nice, about our new ownership is they're giving us the flexibility to try things.
Yeah.
For instance, Jeff and I were out here in Las Vegas last month at the promotional product show. I've never done that before. And it was just like, okay, let's just go get a small group to see what happens. And it was super successful. we were so busy every day, all 3 days of the show, and it was great, you know, to be able to just go out and try something, see what happens.
Well, the cool thing about that too is like there's like companies that I worked with in the past that I hadn't worked with in 5, 6, 7 years, and all of a sudden they come back and they're like, I remember you, and we did this project together and all this stuff. And I said, oh yeah, and you know, oh why? And then you're having a conversation about a new project, and you know, and then she like starts talking about the quantities that she needs, and I'm like, okay, you know, your ears perk up, and you're like, okay, well, this is pretty cool. So, you know, just kind of rekindling some of those old relationships has been quite fun, and then a lot of new people. What was really cool is this show, you know, the promotional products. You could find 100 vendors with cups and hats and shirts and beach towels and all
Ink
that.
pens.
Ink pens, but like we were the only company there with Diecast cars. So like there was like a couple of companies that had like semi trucks. We were the only ones with cars. So everybody would start talking to each other, and then they'd all come to our booth, and you were just like, you're frankly tired of hearing yourself talking. So it's like we'd go out to dinner, and then like we'd go back to the hotel and just like pass out because you're just so exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you get back, you have to sort through all those contacts and you know go through your notes and pass them off to the proper people internally and go from there. But it was fun.
Yeah.
You know, and another another show we go to every year is the licensing show.
Yeah, that's coming up, right?
Yeah, it's
I was
coming
looking
up.
at that,
Yeah,
actually.
in
That's
May.
interesting.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
it's over at Mandalay Bay. That's a really cool opportunity to meet with your licensing partners and then find new opportunities. So you're setting meetings, and you know, a lot of times you think, is this going to work? Like we had a licensing meeting with Tops for Garbage Pail Kids. I think everybody has seen our Garbage Pail Kids. And like, it's something that shouldn't work, but it does.
I know.
And so it's kind of cool.
It is. It's something totally unexpected, and then you see it as a finished product, you're like, this totally makes sense.
Yeah. Or like Norman Rockwell, same thing. Right?
Yeah.
Part of garbage is, you know, fun component, you know, especially for everyone in the offices. You know, we always have the five real Garbage Pail Kids cards,
Yeah.
and then one's made of somebody within the office. And you've had one, Jeff.
No, I haven't had one
Oh,
yet.
you haven't had one either, but I guess we need to have a talk.
Not
So
yet.
people,
And they'll be the twins ones?
Well, Clint had his in Series 1, and it was a red Challenger, because that's what he drives. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
little,
I have that one.
there's little hero cards at our booth of Garbage Pail Kids. So
Okay, I'm gonna
2
check
today,
that out.
2 tomorrow, and 1 on Saturday. So there's 5 total. So they're free. Come by and pick them
Okay,
up. And
okay.
Clint's there. He can autograph them for you if you want. So yeah.
And that's another project, you know, going back when we were talking about what we did with Hendrick, you know, bringing in a separate group of collector. Now, it's this Garbage Pail Kids collectors.
Yeah.
Well, they had never collected Diecast movies before. And all of a sudden, vehicle with the card. Well, wait a minute, I never had that card because it's never been the market. You know,
Well, I have a customer that, you know, on Series 1, he was like, I'll take like 5 cases. I'm like, okay, fine. Delivery hits, and he's like, how many more do you have left? I was like, well, let me check. And he's like, I will buy everything you have. And so then Series 2 comes around, and he like increases his orders and increases his orders. So like, he's just like, I'm a child of the 80s. I love this stuff. All my customers can push it. And so it's just trying to make those connections for people, because
It's nostalgic.
yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
I also like when they have like a little accessory or something, adding like a card or like a little like something or other, reminds me of like a little toolbox. And then, you know, like the little, there was like the tiger. Is it the tiger?
Oh yeah,
Orange cat,
the Talladega Nights.
yeah. Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah. You know the Joe Dirt Daytona. That was one of my favorite cars castings that you guys did, and the
Yeah.
packaging and everything. So I got the regular. We're still looking for the machine.
Okay.
And who came up with the whole green thing? Where did that come from? I mean, I guess
you know,
the
like
name
that.
Greenlight, but like the green wheels, like it's become so iconic, and some people hate it,
Yeah.
some people love it, but everybody has to have it.
Right. You know, that was kind of done by the guy that founded the company, because everybody had their own chase program. So we just needed something that matched our company.
Yeah.
And so, you know, some type of metallic green element, body, wheels, chassis, whatever, and it's kind of hard to mix it up every time because some people would say, I hate it when you do the wheels green, or I hate it when you do the chassis green. And it's like, okay, well then we'll make the body green, and they're like, oh, I don't like it when you do it. So it's like you gotta try to like mix it up and try to make everybody happy. It's just kind of difficult to do, but it's fun. We actually did we had the Breaking Bad license for a while, and in that RV, we made, it was like 6 or 10 pieces that were like the blue, like the crystal blue color, and we didn't tell anybody about it. They just threw them in the market. And when people found those, they went nuts, and they're like, well, how many did you make? So we were fielding phone calls and stuff, and so the collectors are quite keen on that stuff, and they keep us on our toes for sure.
Like the National Lampoons you did too, right? And you didn't have the one with the Gilmore figure, and then the dirty RV one.
We had Cousin Eddie's RV.
But
one of those goes on my mantle every Christmas. So.
But that's so cool because it's so diverse, right? You have all the movie license stuff, and then you guys have all these little extra little elements in it that people might not pick up on unless you're there.
I mean, our license or roster is right around 100.
Yeah, anything we can add to it, like to make it unique, is just kind of a feather in the cap. Like I was talking about Breaking Bad, the first run of the RV we did. Like I don't know if you watched the show, but remember when he takes his shirt off and hangs it on the rear window on the side here? One of our designers was like, well, why don't we make a little blue shirt hanging off it? And if you look at it, you'll see it on the first one. So it's like a little tiny detail that we put into it that, you may like just browse right over, but it's there. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, It's a little fun things like that.
So when I talk to like car designers, they do that too, as in garage, like something on the windshield or on the rip. That's why I said Easter eggs. So that's really cool. So when I do an extra view for you guys, I'm gonna look for those. So we're gonna have to point those out.
We do some fun stuff with like the license plates, and then like every now and then like we'll put like a number on a car, like that is significant to us. Like maybe it's our company address or something like that. We don't really say anything about it.
It's just in there. If you know, you know.
Yeah,
right?
see what happens. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Anything? I guess you can't talk about licensing that you're trying to get because you haven't got it.
I can drop a little something. I can't say what it is, but we are in the final stages of a new major OEM.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, that's exciting. Well, like you said, you got to plug into all your socials to find out what's next or whatever show that you're in next and you can drop something.
Yeah, I can tell you the second this one is signed, it'll hit our social.
Because we got to get to work on it quick.
I don't know what time we're at right now, but you guys have an exclusive car for this show. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's right here. It's an '87 Chevy Suburban, and you can actually keep that one.
Oh, thank you.
So we made 528 of them, and 48 green machines. So we've got a bundle over there that if you buy 5 of those, you get the green machine for free. And then once the green machines are gone, they're gone. And this isn't a true like kind of green machine. It's a raw chase, so it's like a kind of a shiny metal. They're at our booth.
I was going to ask, what is the percentage, or say the raws compared to green machines? And you guys kind of have like a percentage that are in the runs?
Yeah, so our chase is inserted at a rate of 4%, which typically equates to about 2 per master case. It used to be 2%, it was 1 per master, but a lot of people were saying I can never find them. I'm a completist, so I want to make sure that I have everything. So we said, okay, well, let's try adding another one to the master case. So we can go up and down, and we were talking about custom runs earlier. If you do a custom run with us, we let you go up to 10%. So if that's what you want to do, I've had customers say, yes, give me the full 10%, and then I've had other customers that say, I want to keep it more rare than that, so can I do the 4% that you guys do? Yeah, sure, no problem. So, we want them to be sought after, but we don't want it to be to the point where the collectors are pulling their hair out
Yeah,
trying to find
yeah,
like
yeah.
characters with the Joe Dirt. Like,
Yeah. But then that becomes one of those real pieces anyway, then isn't it?
Yeah.
Earlier series, right?
Well, that's the if you ever follow the online auctions, like we had a line called Muscle Car Garage, and that was like our first entry into the muscle car space. Because Greenlight was 100% indie car. That was how the company started.
Right.
And so then when we made the jump to muscle cars, you know, Muscle Car Garage Series 1 was a limited release. And when you see those green machines pop up like for auction, I mean, there's a couple of them that go for, you know, $400, $500, $600 a piece, and you're just like, holy cow, it's crazy. Yeah.
But they're just so like, they're like almost vintage in a way. Like the color of the packaging. And,
Yeah.
because that's the one that's like, it's got the purple on the top and the muscle like kind of like that.
Yeah. It's, for whatever reason, whenever the Boss 429 comes up, it goes for crazy money. And so I may have one of them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a shot at all of your offices to see what you can.
Yeah, well, I like to keep a lot of stuff on display because it keeps things in the front of my brain. Where it's like, okay, this worked, this didn't work, you know. And so, like when we're coming up with product assortments, it's a real help because, you know, we put a lot of faith and trust in our design team, and we've got a really good group of people there. And so, you know, I always said if I was designing it, it would be like an MS Paint, and it would look terrible. You know, like I have no artistic ability whatsoever, but the people we have on board, you know, you give them a direction, and damn, they run it. It's great.
So we talked about big casting, we talked a little bit about the company. Actually, I was going to mention that one of the big takeaways from the changes in the company is I think owning your own factories. I've never really heard of that for diecast companies before because everything's always kind of like outsourced to the factories and made. And I feel like if you guys have that piece in-house, like you said, the caring behind that, and the attention to detail, and there's no disconnect between that, I think that's huge, and that's going to speak volumes for the end product that the end user is going to get, because the collector is going to get, because it's going to be, you're going to feel that passion in there and see the details, right? Whereas I feel like sometimes with companies when there's that disconnect, where it's like, okay, it's sent to the factory, designs are sent, whatever we get back, and then deal with it afterward. It's like you guys are going to be, well, not you guys, the company's going to be involved in all those things all the way to the end. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, well, and also like all of our mold development now is in-house as well, so which is really cool. You know, we've always worked with one mold shop, but sometimes things get lost in translation.
Yeah.
So when you can have that happening in real time with your own people, it helps a lot. Yeah, it really does.
You know, and that's also something, you know, that you can offer up, you know, like, you know, the OEMs, where, hey, we have our own tool shop. So if there's something that you guys want done to give out, let's say, an hour or so for a reveal, our security is so much better because we have complete control of the CAD. It's not our own computers. You know, it's not going anywhere.
Nothing's going to get leaked or, come out aftermarket before it's even come out, because that's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's difficult to stop that stuff, but when you own your own factory, it's, you're on, we got you on camera.
Got 2 cameras. Well, you know what, you guys, thank you so much for
Thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sneak peeks. We're super excited to see what you guys are going to bring to market in the next couple of months and forever. So keep in mind the Dodge Neon SR24. And I'm really excited to see what else you guys are going to do. And I mean, like the suspension, that's impressive. It's going to look good, like it's so cool.
A lot of exciting stuff happening in the next year.
Alright, well, visit the booth, you guys. Make sure you guys log into their socials. You guys have everything: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, probably. Alright, cool. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you
for joining us. I'm gonna go visit your guys' booth and collect those cards.
Sounds good.
Did I miss one yesterday?
No.
Okay,
Nope.
starting today. Alright, well, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you soon.
Alright, appreciate it. Thank you.
Alright. Thanks, guys. I will see you guys at 1 o'clock for In the Pit. Alright.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks. Appreciate it.